string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I am in love. Life is a beautiful thing, as long as I hold the string. I would be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got that string around my finger. What a world! Hey, this is life. Hey now, I'm in love. Thank you. The best of everything, that is what I wish you all. The best of everything, a Rembrandt on your wall. A yacht that wins you cups, skateboards with style and speed, show dogs or loving pups, heart of the pound or the pedigree. Win that prize, that's that blue ribbon test. I hope your good keeps getting better till your better's best. With every wine you taste, with every song you sing, by now you may have guessed it. I hope you get the best of everything. The best of everything, that's what I wish you all. The best of everything, a Rembrandt hanging on your wall. Mr. Glenway Flippin, yeah, I hope you win that prize, that's that blue ribbon test. I hope your good keeps getting better till your better's best. With every wine you taste, with every song you sing, by now you may have guessed that. I hope you get the best of everything. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening. Welcome to Don't Tell Mama. And those of you who have been here in the past, welcome back to Don't Tell Mama. And so much, I was here 7 months ago, so much has gone on in the last 7 months. I don't even know where to begin. I won't go into too much detail, but I've been a lot of interesting places. My day job is I'm travel editor, for those of you who don't know, travel editor for the Boston Herald. And because of that, I run around the country a lot. And I spend a lot of time on cruise ships and in nice hotels. And I've been to Naples, Florida, and South Beach, and Disney, and Sarasota. That was right after I was here last time. And just got back from a Holland America cruise ship with lots of very old people. My goodness. I'll tell you what, I went on the ship looking for a new wrinkle, and I think I found it. Well, lots of them, as a matter of fact. We went down, got on Curacao, came up to Fort Lauderdale. We spent 2 weeks. Actually, it was 5 days. Seemed like 2 weeks. But I think that the most interesting thing that I did in that period of time was I went on a cruise, a seaboard ultra luxury cruise line, down to out of LA, out to San Diego, and down the Mexican Riviera. Now you want to talk laid back, you want to talk sophisticated, you want to talk dull. I mean, that ship went to bed at 10. And oh my goodness, I wake up at 10. And they don't have casino, their casino was 9 slot machines and 3 game tables, and they were never all busy at the same time. But it was an interesting trip. It actually started with 2 nights I spent in the Hotel Bel Air in LA. And the Hotel Bel Air is probably the best hotel I've ever stayed. It's a marvelous place. They have things like, they have the Marilyn Monroe suite. It's now the Health Club. Go figure. I think there's a little irony there. Then they have the Princess Grace suite. Princess Grace used to stay there. I was in the Swan Lake suite. Don't even. And I left my tutu at home. All those years of ballet, look at me now. Oh, come on. Not that long ago, I had the body of a 19-year-old. But she had to go back to college. But seriously, Bel Air is a beautiful part of LA. It's near Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and swimming pools and movie stars and all that. In fact, the Hotel Bel Air is right down the street from the former home of Judy Garland and Sid Luft, which I thought was kind of nice. And it's also right around the corner, just about, from a former home of the Sinatra family. Which brings us to the great song of tonight's show. Oh, excuse me for one moment. That was nice. I hope you do that again in a minute. That was real nice. Tonight's show is a tribute to the Rat Pack. Oops, he did it again. Isn't that Brittany? Tonight's show is a tribute to the Rat Pack. And I grew up listening to the Rat Pack a lot because my mother was a big fan of Sinatra and Dean Martin especially. And you all do know who the Rat Pack is. Frank, Dean, and Sammy. Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and Sammy the Bull Gravano. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong rat. Sammy Davis Jr., of course. But my mother was a big fan of Frank and Dean. And I was almost like an only child. I had 3 siblings. And I like to forget I had 3 siblings that are a lot older than me. And so I was home a lot with my mother. My mother was a stay-at-home mom while I was growing up. And she put on the album. My father would be at work. She put on the Frank album. She put on the Dean albums. And she'd sigh a lot. And she put the movies on TV. And then at night, we'd watch the Frank Sinatra. Remember Frank Sinatra had a TV show? We'd watch the Sinatra show. We'd watch the Dean Martin Variety Hour, which I loved. And I noticed that these guys were so sure of themselves, so confident, so smooth. And they were surrounded by beautiful women. So I wanted to be like, I was 5 years old. I wanted to be like that. I don't know, at that point. So I used to stand in front of the mirror all the time. We had a very small house. We had the dining table, the refrigerator, everything was in the living room. You call that living. But we had a mirror on the wall over a floor furnace, and I used to stand there in front of the mirror, and I'd put on the records, and I'd pretend I was Frank Sinatra, or I'd pretend I was Dean Martin, which required a lot of alcohol. But finally, I did that for a long time. I finally had to stop, because last week my wife came home and caught me. It was very embarrassing. But, no, seriously. So I grew up listening to all this music, and it stuck with me. I never got into, while I was growing up, I never got into the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and all that. I was listening to show tunes, and I was listening to the Rat Pack, and it really influenced what I did what I do as a singer, what I did as a trombone player. I went to Berklee College of Music as a trombone player, and I was into the swing music and the standards of that as well. And so I think it's very important to keep the music alive. So the first 2 songs I did were Sinatra songs. The one coming up is a song that he did in 1984. And it was written by Michel Legrand and Alan and Marilyn Bergman. And it shows how Sinatra kept current, kept contemporary and cross-generational appeal, I think. because this was a duet, a soul pop duet that didn't go anywhere. And he got a hold of it. Now it's a standard called How Do You Keep the Music Playing? Now you can do that. How do you keep the music playing? How do you make it last? How do you keep a song from fading too fast? How do you lose yourself to someone but never lose your way? How do you not come up with new things to say? And since we know we're always changing, how can it feel the same? And tell me how year after year you're sure your heart will fall apart each time you hear her name. I know the way I feel for you, it's now or never. The more I love, the more I'm afraid that in your eyes I may not sing forever and ever. If we could be the best of lovers, but be the best of friends. If we can try with every day to make love better as it grows, with any luck then I suppose the music, it never ends. I know the way I feel for you, it's now or never. The more I love, the more I'm afraid that in your eyes I may not seem forever. If we can be the best of lovers, yet be the best of friends. If we can try with every day to make love better as it grows, with any luck then I suppose the music, it never ends. Very much. Sinatra did those ballads very well. He did contemporary ballad like that very well. But he was best known as his persona and his music for swinging. And he used to take things done a lot of times from Broadway, people like Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, and turn them into standards. A lot of standards did start on Broadway. And they were given a pop treatment. And with Sinatra it was swing. And they became big hits. Like a couple of tunes from Cole Porter's Anything Goes. In olden days, a glimpse of stocking was looked at as something shocking. Now heaven knows anything goes. A good office to who once knew better words, now only use four-letter words like clothes. Hey, anything goes. Other words are bad today, good's bad today. Day's night today, wrong's right today. Most guys today that women prize today are silly gigolos. And though I'm not a great romancer, I know that you're bound to answer when I propose. Anything goes. Heaven knows. Anything goes. Even Glenway knows that anything goes. Oh, the world is not bad today, but it's bad today. It is night today, and wrong's right today. And most guys today that women prize today are silly gigolos. And though I'm not a great romancer, I know that you're bound to answer when I propose. Anything goes. My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me totally cold. The only exception I know is the case when I'm out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly the old ennui. Then I suddenly turn and see that fabulous face. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol, it doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? Some get their kick from cocaine. I'm sure that if I took even one, it would bore me terrifically too. Still, I get a kick out of you. I get a kick every time that I see you standing there. You are there before me. I get a kick, though it's clear to see that you obviously, you don't adore me. Some get their kick in a plane, flying too high with some girl in the sky. That's my idea of nothing to do. Still, I get a kick out of you. Take it, Clint. Standing there before me, I get a kick, though it's clear to see that you obviously, you do not adore me. Some get their kicks in a plane, flying too high with some girl in the sky. That's my idea of nothing to do. Still, I get a kick. You give me a boot, I get a kick out of you. You. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, this is a Rat Pack tribute. How come I got water up here? What is it, Jack Daniels? My goodness. A lot of show tunes, as I said, started as standards. A lot of standards started as show tunes, or C, all of the above. a lot of them did. And what would happen would be, in the old days, the producers and the composers would send out demo tapes to the top singers of the day before the show even opened, and they would hope to get somebody like a Sinatra, a Meltzer, may have been Crosby, to record their song, because if they'd sing the song and reveal that it came from a show, people would then flock to the show to hear the song done in its original context. That was the theory. So that's how that happened, that so many of the standards wound up in the Rat Pack songbook, and Sinatra did a ton of them. And Sinatra did a lot of the Cole Porter songs, Irving Berlin, Rodgers and Hart, Rodgers and Hammerstein. But Sammy Davis Jr. would do those songs, would do some songs from the shows. And some of them he would do almost in the show style. He had a lot of luck, though, with the songs of Anthony Newley and Leslie Berku. I'm going to do a couple of those for you right now because they're a couple of my personal favorites. wants to know, and so I must go where destiny leads me, with no one beside me, and no star to guide me. I'll go on my way, then after the day, the darkness will hide me. And maybe tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who could I turn to if you turned away? One beside me, and no star to guide me. I'll go on my way, then after the day, the darkness will hide me. And maybe tomorrow I'll find what I'm after. I'll throw off my sorrow, beg, steal, or borrow my share of laughter. With you I could learn to, with you on a new day. But who can I turn to if you turned away? Kind of fool am I, who never fell in love. It seems that I'm the only one that I have been thinking of. What kind of man is this? An empty shell, a lonely cell in which an empty heart must dwell. What kind of lips are these that lied with every kiss, that whispered empty words of love, then left me alone like this? Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. What kind of clown am I? What do I know of life? Why can't I cast away this mask of clay and live my life? Why can't I fall in love till I don't give a damn? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am. He died too young. Oh, he was good. He could dance, he could act, he could do all that stuff. He was actually, Sinatra was great with that phrasing, and he had a way with so many songs. Sammy, to me, it was a much more dynamic singer. I really enjoy listening to Sammy, I think, more than any of the three. Then you have Dean. Dean did one thing really well. He drank. was myth.
It was myth.
It was myth. And a myth is as good as a mile.
Absolutely.
A lot of that was myth because he was a consummate professional. Let's face it, you don't make it to where he made it by being a falling down drunk. But he built this whole persona especially after he left Jerry Lewis. And Lewis went on to fame and fortune doing telethons and working the summer tent theater circuit and making people's lives miserable. But we won't go into that. Been there, done that. But on the other hand, Dean Martin, of course, went on, had two very successful television series. He did The Roast and The Variety Hour. And he did all those records, and he did all those movies, Matt Helm and the Westerns and things. He was a very talented fellow. But he was easygoing and he didn't like to rehearse, and so he had this persona. But he wasn't, as far as I was concerned, he was never a really great singer. He was mostly personality. And so I sat down when I was putting together this show, and I'm trying to think, what songs are really identified with Dean? And I started thinking, I came up with Sinatra tunes. I threw all 4 Sinatra tunes out of the show the other day because the show was too long. You just can keep going with, you hear a song, that's a Sinatra song. With me, I hear certain songs, those are Sammy's songs. With Dean, I didn't want to do Volare because I can't speak Italian. And I came up with a couple, both of which were actually recorded by Sinatra before he did them. And interestingly, I think, that's something you never use when you're a writer. Interestingly, well, if it's interesting, tell us about it. Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime was recorded by Frank Sinatra first as a filler for an album. And when Dean was making an album, Ken Lane, Dean's longtime accompanist and music director, said, "Well, Dean, why don't you do my song?" So which one? Okay, well, this one here. It's the one I wrote. Everybody Loves Somebody Sometime. It became his biggest hit and his theme song. And so I figured I'd put that in here and then tacked on another fun song at the end that just always reminds me of Dean. So let's give that a run. See if I can get the Dean Martin move going here. And the hair is greased. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Everybody falls in love somehow. Something in your kiss just told me my sometime is now. Everybody finds somebody someplace. There's no telling when love may appear. Something in my heart keeps saying my someplace is here. If I had it in my power, I'd arrange for every girl to have your charm. Then every minute, every hour, every boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love made it well worth waiting for someone like you. If I had it in my power, I'd arrange for every girl to have your charm. Every minute of every hour, every boy would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. And although my dream was overdue, your love made take you. Somebody loves you. You are nobody till somebody cares. Well, you may be a king and you may possess all the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. Well, the world just stay the same. You're not gonna change it. Just as sure as the stars shine above. Nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. Well, you may be a king and you may possess all the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. Now the world will be the same. You're not gonna change it. Just as sure as the stars shine above. I owe nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody. Anybody's body. Find yourself somebody to love. Thank you very much. I think I'm going to go to the couch. Oh, goodness, how many times did I hear that? You know, it's funny, I look at the pack, and I look at Frank especially, because Frank was around a long time. And when Frank was my age, I'll be 48 this summer, he was getting ready to retire again and again and again. And he was doing albums that would sort of look back and reflect on his life. And it gets you to thinking, because you get to that point and you want to look back and see what you've done. And he did a couple of songs high on symbolism. It had a lot to do with September. And I think I'm going to do those now, because I kind of know how he feels as we begin to look ahead. We look down the road, and you see those changing leaves coming. Sometimes actually it's changing hair. One day you turn around and it's summer. Next day you turn around and it's fall. And the winters and the springs of a lifetime, whatever happened to them all? As a man who has always had the wandering ways, now I'm reaching back for yesterdays, to long forgotten love appears. And I find I'm sighing softly as I near September, the warm September of my years. As a man who has never paused at wishing wells, now I'm watching children's carousels, and their laughter's music to my ears. And I find I'm smiling gently as I near September, September of my years, the golden warm September of my years. Oh, it's a long, long way from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September, when the autumn weather turns the leaves to flame. One hasn't got time for the waiting game. Oh, the days dwindle down to a precious few. September, November, and these few precious days I'll spend with you. These golden days I'll spend with you. Thank you. How would I depress the hell out of everybody? Oh, goodness. What time is it? Oh, my goodness. I gotta be in Branson, Missouri. I gotta leave for Branson, Missouri in less than 12 hours. Come on, Glenway, let's fly. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Spy solo, Glenway. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you. Come fly with me, come fly, let's fly away. If you could use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come on, let's fly with me. Come fly, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Marble Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. Come on, fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we're just gonna glide, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You might even hear all the angels cheer just because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say the word and we'll take our plunge down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon. Oh, baby, come fly with me, let's fly away. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied. We're just gonna glide, absolutely petrified. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so very near. We might even hear all the angels cheer just because we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say the word and we'll beat those birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon. Oh, babe, come fly with me. Come fly with me. Come fly with me. Pack up and fly away. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. All right, it's now time. Mark Chapman, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all didn't think we were going to get away that easy. No, that doesn't work that way. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you all for being here. It's been beautiful weather, and we all have other things we could be doing, and you all chose to spend your time and entertainment dollars coming here, and well, thank you. And I'm flattered and eternally grateful because now I can afford to feed my cats. No, that's not right. But seriously, I want to thank Sidney Meyer, who is the person who is in charge of all this and books the talent here, for allowing me to come back again and again and again. And he's a terrific guy. He is one of the people that makes cabaret happen and makes cabaret what it is in New York City. So I thank Sidney Meyer. I'd like to thank Bob Nealon back in the lights and sound. Bob has worked all of one of my shows here, and it's always an absolute pleasure to work with you, Bob. He adds so much, and he's so easy to work with. He just says, get the hell off the stage and let me do anything. He never says that, I'm kidding. And of course, your wait staff. I don't know them personally. I've never seen what they do, but I do know that most of the wait staff and the bartenders and everybody here are probably better than a lot of what you're going to see on stage in other places. They do shows here, and they do things in the piano bar. And you should hang around and see them sometime, because if I lived closer than 250 miles, I'd probably come in every night and see them myself. And of course, last but not least, the inestimable, don't even start. It's been a long day, Glenn. Mr. Glenn White-Fripp at the piano. You know, Glenley just got back from Cuba. Glenley's been to Cuba twice since the first of the year. I think he's fomenting a revolution. And he doesn't even have to try to do that. You know? Very nice. That was Cuban music. Was that Cuban music? It was from the Fantastics. It wasn't from the Fantastics. I thought it was an Alan Sherman tune myself.
Fantastics. No, they stole it. Ernesto O'Connor wrote it.
I do too. Okay. Yeah, something like that. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap this thing up right now before they get the hook. With just one more Sinatra tune that kind of expresses a philosophy that I've had to adopt over the years, because if you had been through all the stuff that I go through with him all the time, you'd have to do this too. So... That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it seems, some people get their kicks just messing with your dreams. But I don't let it can't get me down. 'Cause this old world, it keeps spinning round. I've been a bother, and a king. I've been up and down, over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's right. I tell you, I won't deny it. I thought I'd quit running, but my heart won't buy it. But if I didn't think it was worth one more try, I would jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly. I've been a bother, and a king. I've been up and down, over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's right. That's right. I can't deny it. Many times I thought of cutting out, but my heart won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die. My. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Mark Chapman.